Amazing day to all. This is your amazing guru, teacher Dan Rogayan, and welcome to another episode of our letter review. So for today, we will again rationalize 10 questions in your professional education as part of your preparation for your. So before anything else, I hope you have your paper and pen with you para sabayan ninyo ako sa pagsasagot ng mga tanong natin. So let me first share my slide. All right. Yeah. So again, this is a rationalization of 10 questions in professional education. And these are actually parallel questions in the left and hopefully will help, in the board exam. So again, of course, my fervent prayer is that you will all pass the board exam. So, patuloy lang kayong maganda at patuloy lang kayong magsanay, because practice, especially if you're practicing test series like this, it will actually enhance your memory and will actually help you prepare better in your upcoming course. So I think we could start. So first question, in her arithmetic class, teacher can make her students use numbers for various real-life tasks like buying things in the store, comparing distances of planets, budgeting for a party, etc. What is this teaching learning practice? A, reconstructive, B, interdisciplinary, C, collaborative, D, construct. What do you think is the answer for this question? All right, of course, that is interdisciplinary. So you can see from these questions, no keywords such as using numbers, for various real life tasks. So meaning the use of numbers is being connected with real life tasks such as buying the store, comparing planet distances, and even budgeting. So that means using mathematics, in understanding other disciplines such as science, for example, in the case of planets, um, management of finance in the case of budgeting, and even commerce or production, in terms of buying in the store. So that would be on interdisciplinary. So when you say interdisciplinary, this kind of teaching is using several themes or several disciplines to explain concepts among learners. So what are the benefits of interdisciplinary learning? So these are some. First, it is actually authentic and real life learning. So when you actually connect your lesson to different real life contexts, that will give your students a sense of relevance. So ibig sabihin, meaningful sa kanila yung tinuturo mo. Isa pa, it increase critical thinking and problem solving skills. So the use of interdisciplinary learning will actually enhances the HATS or higher order thinking skills of your students, as well as their problem solving skills, which is one of the 21st century skills that they need to develop among themselves. Of course, interdisciplinary teaching and learning is also highly engaging because you actually target here the different multiple intelligences of your students. Remember, di ba, the students have MIs or multiple intelligences. So ilan na nga ba yung MI ng mga estudyante natin? Initially, we have 8, according to Howard Gardner, but of course, we have the new one, the 9th intelligence, which is existential intelligence. Also, interdisciplinary learning highlights learner strength. Nakikita natin the strength of our students in this particular learning approach. Then opens doors for students to develop interest in a variety of content areas. So for example, I'm a science teacher. If, for example, I'm going to teach the concept of fermentation, I could actually relate that particular concept to other disciplines such as, for example, history, or social science, language even, and even visual arts, for example, or humanity. So we can actually connect our topic to different thematic areas. And of course, interdisciplinary learning is student-centric, student-centered, and increase cognitive gain or the cognitive load of ours, their learning achievement or their learning no, in general. So that is on interdisciplinary teaching. So maraming disiplina no nagtuturo, although isa lang yung major area na tinuturo natin, pwede natin yung palawakin by connecting it to other disciplines. Okay? Second question, Professor Corpus is evaluating a website for her literature class. She's making sure that factual pieces of information found on the site are well documented and pictures and diagrams are properly labeled. She's also checking that there are no misspelled words or grammar errors. Which criterion is she focusing on? Is it A, accuracy, B, appropriateness, C, clarity, or letter D, motivation? Right? What do you think is the answer, future LPPs? Of course, that is more of accuracy. So, halos lahat ng key terms natin dito are leaning towards accuracy. For example, the word factual pieces of information. So, fact-based, meaning accurate information, reliable information. No? Well-documented pictures and diagrams. No? They are properly labeled, meaning there are no errors, free from errors. These are not erroneous. No? She's also checking the misspelled words and typography, even the grammatical errors. So that would actually lead to our answer, which is accuracy. Read word, accurate. Ang ibig sabihin, free from errors, no? Based from factual information. Appropriateness would actually mean instructional materials would that are you know aligned with the learner's readiness, no? So, kailangan makita natin whether our materials are appropriate in specific grade level. Clarity would mean clear, no? So, ibig sabihin, the directions are clear, there is a clarity of learning outcomes that you would like to attain. So, bahagi yan ng clarity for instructional materials. And motivation, motivation would focus on how a specific instructional material engage students, no, to take part in the classroom activities. Okay? So I'd like to elaborate this, no, in the context of science. So in science, kasi we have accuracy and precision. So let's try to differentiate the two. Accuracy indicates how close a measurement is to the correct or accepted value, while precision indicates the closeness of two or more measurements to each other. So accuracy is with respect to the accepted value, no? The closeness to the accepted value or the standard value. While precision is actually closeness to two or more measurements to each other. Usually ito, nagkakaroon tayo ng ano, 'di ba, ng parang repeated measurement. So para makita natin yung precision. So for example, you measure for the first time, then for the second time, and then for the third time. And then you would want it to average. Nagkakaroon ng precision. How close the initial measurement compared to the two or more other measurements. Now for accuracy, your measurement will be close to the standard measurement. I earlier cited that. While for precision, your measurement will be similar every time you measure. So usually in laboratory setting, for example, if we weigh, no, for example, a particular substance, no, a solid substance, for that matter, we can actually do repetitions of these measurement to see it. Okay? Next, if you want to determine if the education student truly values the teaching profession, which of the following queries should you ask? A, is the teaching profession a noble profession? B, are you happy on your choice? C, will you convince others to enroll in the teacher education course? Or letter D, what good do you get if you become it? What do you think is the answer? Of course, that is letter A. Is the teaching profession a noble profession? So if you really want to determine whether a student truly values, the teaching profession, these particular question will accurately see, whether these students really are really regard, teaching profession as a noble. And of course, alam naman natin, as a teachers, the profession is really noble. Sometimes, we see teaching as our profession, but more than that, this is our calling, our vocation. So maybe some of you are uh took up teaching by different means, no? Some maybe may took up the profession by force, no? By choice or by influence of others. So you reflect, no? Bakit kayo nasa teaching profession? Bakit tayo na rin dito? And why do we keep on, improving our craft and even uh improving our commitment, no? And enhancing our passion, no? Igniting our passion to read. Now, I'd like to share what Abdul Kalam once said, and I quote: "Teaching is a very noble profession that shapes the character, caliber, and future of an individual. If the people remember me as a good teacher, that will be the biggest honor." Equating what you do as a teacher as your honor, as your lifetime honor, because what we're doing is really novel. So we are the modern day heroes because 'di ba, despite of the pandemic, despite of the educational disruption, hindi tayo nagpatinag. We continued teaching, no, to avoid learning losses of our. Next question. From Bloom's taxonomy of cognitive processing, at what level is teacher Reynas asking her students to formulate their personal philosophy of education? A, creating, B, evaluating, C, analyzing, D, assess. What is the answer, teachers? Of course, that is create because of the word formulate. No? So when you say formulate, bubuo, no, ng kanilang sariling philosophy of education. And that actually um, connects to creating. No? The creating, of course, no, in the revised Bloom's taxonomy, this is the highest level for the cognitive domain. So as we can see here in our infographic, no, remembering is the lowest. No? You just recall facts and basic concepts, no? Understanding, you explain ideas or concepts. Applying, you use information in new situation. Or how are you going to uh, apply what you have learned in the classroom into the actual setting. So application would mean in the context of philosophy more or is more of pragmatism, being pragmatic or being practical. Your knowledge to practice, no? What you know to application. Then analyze is to draw conclusions or connections among ideas. You try to break down the information and try to see connections among these. Then evaluate is to justify standard decision. You evaluate, you judge, no? So when you see the word judge in the board exam, that is more of evaluation, weighing things out, trying to see, to evaluate, no, the pros and cons, for example, of a certain issue. And of course, creating is producing new or original work. So here, you can have products, no, or outputs like designing, assembling, constructing, conjecturing, developing, formulating, authoring, or investigating. So in our previous question, the students are asked to formulate or to craft their own teaching philosophy. That is part of creating. Okay. Next, for those who successfully pass the licensure examination for teachers, the blank signed by the chairperson of the Philippine of the Professional Regulation Commission serves as evidence of lawful practice of the profession. A, professional license. B, professional oath copy. C, merit examination certificate. Or letter D, professional registration fee received. What is that particular document signed by the chairperson of the Professional Regulation Commission? Of course, that is your professional license. And makukuha nyo na yan, no? So, i-claim, i-manifest na ninyo that you will get your professional license in the upcoming board. Tiwala lang, no? Keep holding the line and you will pass the board exam. So that is an example that this is actually a picture of a professional license, no? Issued by the Professional Regulation Commission of the Philippines, no? So this is for professional teachers. So iba-iba naman to, no? Of course, the PRC leads, no, the professionalization of different professions in the country. So in our case, no, professional teacher, we are being regulated by the BPT or the Board for Professional Teachers. So pag naipasa niyo yung board exam, anong mangyayari? Magkakaroon kayo ng addendum sa pangalan ninyo. Addendum or yung dagdag sa pangalan niyo sa dulo na LPT, which means Licensed Professional Teacher. Pero mailalagay nyo lamang yon right after you took your oath, no? Before the members, no, of the Board of Professional Teachers of the PRs. Okay? Next question, why is CPD or continuing professional development necessary for professional teachers? 1, to continuously improve their professional and personal competence. 2, to be at par with other professionals. 3, to abide by the CPD Act of 2016. A, 1, 2, and 3. 2 and 3. C, 1 and 3. Or letter D, 3 only. Right? So, what is the answer? Okay, bakit kailangan, di ba, ng CPD? Because 1 and 3, no, we continuously improve, no, our professional and personal competence through seminars, workshops, advanced studies like graduate school. And not only that, we are abiding, no, the provisions of the CPD law of 20. Bakit hindi kasama yung number 2 to be at par with other professionals? Well, hindi naman, no, we are not competing with other professionals. We are competing with our own profession. We are continuously improving our own craft and our own way of dealing with our clients. And our clients, of course, our students, and of course, the other stakeholders. So, of course, I'd like to mention that CPD is actually regulated under Republic Act 10912, no? Which of course has a short title CPD Act of 2016 or Continuing Professional Development Act of 2016. So pag tinanong sa board exam and what RA ang CPD law, of course that is RA 10912. Okay? Ang tanong, ilang units, no, ng CPD ang kailangang ma-garner o ma-obtain ng isang licensed professional teacher before he or she can renew her license? Ang sagot ay 15 CPD units. Pero pag tinanong, in the initial implementation, no, in 2017, kasi 2016 na yung 2017 na-implement na, ilan yung initial na tawag dito na require ng PRC, no, para sa CPD ng teachers? The answer is 45. So the previously required 45 units has been drastically decreased now to 15 CPD units for licensed professional teachers, no, that is in accordance with PRC resolution number 29-1146. And nagsasabi na kailangan nating i-reduce it from 45 to 15. Kasi pinakinggan din naman, no, during the consultation, pinakinggan ng mga teachers sa mga teacher and mga teacher organization na medyo masyadong marami o malaki yung 45. Lalo ngayon, yung mga CPD na ito ay may mga payment. No? Some organization, of course, would require a certain fee for seminars and a workshop na merong mga CPD. Pero good news, meron din mga free webinar or free CPD. Usually, pero mga ano lang yan. Kunyari, example, mga 2 CPD units or 4 CPD. No? So you just have to browse online, no? Follow different organizations that provide free CPD for the teachers. No? Apart from that, nire-recognize din ng PRC yung mga mini CPD regulated or conducted by the Department of Education. Kasi, di ba, remember during your I mean, in a school, meron tayong tinatawag na LAC session, LAC. That means Learning Action Cell Session. And these are mini CPD in the school, and they can actually use that later on to present, no, certificates out of these LAC sessions to PRC at nakikredit. So again, pag tinanong sa board exam, ilang CPD units for professional teachers, that is 50. Previously 45. Okay? The next, one philosophy considers education is the acquisition of the art of the utilization of knowledge. This implies that a learner's interest in art is comfortable. B, a learner's acquisition of information is not important. C, a learner's application of what she has learned is necessary. Or letter D, a learner's acquisition of information is sufficient. So what should you consider, no, as acquisition of the art of the utilization of? Of course, your answer will be a learner's application of what she has learned is necessary. Kung titignan nyo dito, nakita naman natin, acquisition of the art of the utilization of knowledge. So, how can we utilize our knowledge? No? So, paano natin gagamitin yung natutunan natin? By means of applying what we have. So, mahalaga na naa-apply natin yung mga natututunan natin. Yung mga natututunan ng mga estudyante natin. So, if they are able to apply what they have learned, no, we are our job, no, our responsibility as a teacher is being compensated well kasi they can use other learnings, no, for better, no, for they can apply it to, for example, to augment the life of their family or augment the life of their community. So but in that way we could say that education has not failed, right? So next, ayan. So nakikita natin dito the knowledge that we share to our students, no? Which is of course relevant to their context or to their environment. Kaya napaka-importante yung tatlong terms natin, no, in curriculum, no? Localization, contextualization, and indigenization. No? When we localize it, we use the local setting, no, as an example, local materials in teaching. When we indigenize it, we use the indigenous knowledge, systems, and practices, or the IKSPs of our students to connect the lesson. Okay? And even contextualization, we put in our lesson, we put the context, no? We actually put the context of the learners in the lesson or in the examples that we're giving in our discussion. So napaka-importante ng mga to because we can see here how can we contextualize. So paano natin uh, mas mabibigyan ng relevance o kabuluhan yung tinuturo natin sa konteksto ng ating mga estudyante. And once this knowledge in the context of our students are shared and they obtain this knowledge, they have to apply this. So they can be able to apply what they learn in the real life situation. Okay? So another question, the teacher who spends more than what is earned, thus becoming vulnerable to loan sharks, lacks blank. A, financial literacy. B, cyber literacy. C, eco literacy. D, media literacy. Oh, alin kaya ang sagot? What is lacking in that particular teacher? A, of course, that is financial literacy. No? So, may cliche, 'di ba? Lagi nating narinig or I don't know if you heard if you have heard this already, sinasabi nila, mga teacher, no, taga London. Dito, London. And I hope that will not be applicable to you, no, when you actually enter the public school system. So we have to ensure that hindi lang tayo physically healthy or mentally healthy, but also financially healthy. We should ensure that our financial well-being and financial health is sound. So financial literacy is your literacy in managing your finances, in managing your money, and making sure that your finances go to the, go to the right track, no? Na hindi ito nagagastos or nagagastos sa hindi naman ganun kaimportanteng bagay. So financial literacy is very important, especially to us among teachers na hindi na naman ganun din kalakihan ang entry level. Remember for teacher 1, the entry level is salary grade 11, no? So I think it's around 26,000, no? So by next year medyo increase yan for the final tranche, no? Cyber literacy, on the other hand, is your literacy about the use of computers, the use of technology, no, responsible use of technology, your digital citizenship. Eco-literacy is your literacy about the practices, no, in conserving our environment. So this includes environmental practices and awareness, your literacy and trying to conserve, no, the environment or protect the environment as an ambassador of our surrounding our environment. Then media literacy is something to do with how you actually use digital products, especially the media products, responsibly. Are you not peddling fake news? So, ibig sabihin, media literate ka. Are you not sharing information that is fake, that are fake news? Of course, this also covers your media. Okay, so importante, again, as a teacher, we have to be financially healthy. Okay, importante yan. Lalo ngayon that we are, you know, we are facing, no, global pandemic na napakahirap talaga ng ating buhay due to these several challenges. Okay, I'd like to mention, no, some relevant laws lang regarding financial literacy. So here we have Republic Act number 10679, or an act promoting entrepreneurship and financial education among Filipino youth. So ito yung tinatawag na Youth Entrepreneurship Act, which actually mandates, no, the promotion of entrepreneurship among our youth so that they will become business people, no, as young as they are. Well, the other one, Republic Act 10922, is an act declaring the second week of November of every year as Economic and Financial Literacy Week. So this is the Economic and Financial Literacy Act that actually promotes, no, among Filipinos the value of financial literacy. So again, napaka-importante that we have financial literacy so that hindi tayo hindi tayo magiging tagalondo. Okay, so yeah. So that is an advice to all of you future LEPT. Okay? So another question, to advance a common mission, every school should provide a vision supported by blank. A, cultural identity. B, achieved prestige. C, core values. D, institution's history. What is the answer? Of course, that is core values. So your mission, the mission of an organization, supported by the with the vision, for example, supported by its core values. The vision, mission, and the core values. So the Department of Education, for example, has the following core values: makadiyos, makatao, makakalikasan, at makabansa. So, pag tinanong kayo sa board exam, what are the core values of DepEd? Ito yung apat na. Okay? And interestingly, itong apat na rin na ito is actually considered as our national motto in the Philippines. Makadiyos, makatao, makakalikasan, at makabansa. Okay? So the period of existence is starting February 12, 1998 until present, and the legal basis is the Republic Act number 8491. Okay, the flag and heraldic code of the Philippines. Okay? So next question, for brainstorming to be effective, which should be out? A, openness to ideas. B, teacher's judgmental attitude. C, making use of others' ideas shared. Or letter D, non-threatening atmosphere. So alin ang hindi dapat kasama? So napaka-obvious, no? Okay, na ang pinaka-obvious dito na out is the negative one here. Teacher's judgmental attitude. Okay, openness to idea is important. We have to be open and idea when we do brainstorming. We make use of others' ideas shared and try to weigh the pros and cons. And then, of course, there should be non-threatening atmosphere so that the sharers in the brainstorming group will not be intimidated to share. And of course, ang hindi talaga is teacher's judgmental attitude. So, anong mangyayari if nado-dominate ng teacher's judgmental attitude yung proseso, hindi na magsasalita yung mga estudyante, for example, in the brainstorming group or the members of the brainstorm. So letter B is the answer. Ayan. So of course, in doing brainstorming, we have to be creative in terms of our idea, no? We also take note of the progress of these ideas so that we can come up with a collective ideas, diba? Of course, ideas must be there so that we'll be able to become successful in the brainstorm. So ayan, no? So that ends our 10 question Prof and rationalization. So before I end again, I want to leave you this. So want to reach your goal, pray, persevere, and persist. Patuloy tayong magdasal at manalig sa Kanya na ibibigay niya sa atin ito. Pero kasama ng ating pananalig ay ang ating pagtsatsaga, okay? At ang ating pagsisikap. Because prayer alone will not help us. We have to couple this with hard work and with interest. So patuloy tayong magdasal, patuloy na manalig at patuloy nating pagsikapan so that later on we will reap the sweetest fruits. So that ends our episode for today. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed yet. So thank you very much. Till our next review session.